But anyway, this was a good recipe. It's an easy recipe. And it was fun to make. It was fun to do. And like I say, this summertime is coming up. Well, they're still pinging, y'all. This summertime is coming up and you're going to be eating a lot of corn on the cob. So why don't you make you some corn cob jelly? Hear that ping already. Oh, look at the color of it. Look like a lemon almost. Okay, beautiful. Well, let me go over the a little bit while I'm talking. I use 12 cobs of corn. I use 1.5 cups of sugar. I use 1 box of the pectin. So I'm going to do the recipe of corn cob jelly. So let's get started. So first of all, you need 12 kernel cobs. Right here, your leftover kernel cobs. And you are to break these in half. So you break these in half. That's 1, 2, 2. That's number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And number 6. Number 7. Number 8. It's a little messy. 8. Number 9. And number 10. Got another bag here. Number 11. And one more, y'all. Number 12. And you use 6 cups of water. But if you need to use a little more water, you can. Okay, we have 12 kernel cobs in here. Now we're going to put 6 cups of water. If you need to use more water, add a little bit more water. So we're going to put 6 cups of water. 1. Here we go. 2. And 3. 4. And I think I'm going to need more than 5. I think I'm going to need more than 6. I think I'm going to put a little bit more. That's 6 because you want this water to kind of overfill this corn. So there's 6. So 7. You can always adjust the recipe. You can always adjust the recipe. That's 8. Okay, I feel comfortable with 8. I'll put a little bit more. 8.5. Okay. So now that we got our 8 cups of water in here, 8.5 cups of water, we're going to put this on the stove and we want to bring this up to a boil. So let's walk over to the stove, everybody. And as you can see, I have my jars in here. This is a hot pack. This will be hot. Everything will be hot. I have my jars in here already. I got my lids and I got my rings over there. I got my station set up already, trying to make it convenient for me so I can have everything ready to go. So now we're going to turn the stove on because we want to bring this to a boil. So I'm going to put it right here on high for right now because we want to bring this up to a boil. And when we get this up to a boil, then we are going to turn it down to a low simmer boil, just a low simmer boil. I'm going to go about, you can do it for 35 to 45 minutes. So I'm going to do mine for 45 minutes, but I just wanted to bring it up to a boil, and then we're going to bring it down to a simmer boil, and I'll show you what a simmer boil, what it looks like if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about. So let's get it started. So we are ready to rock and roll. As you can see, we are now up to a boil. So I'm getting ready to turn it down a little low because I want it to start simmering. So you want a low simmering boil. So I still want it to have a little boil to it, but so you want a low simmer boil. So I'm turning it down now, and this is going to do this for 45 minutes. I'm going to let this simmer boil for 45 minutes. And after that, we're going to take the cob out of the pot. So we're going to let this simmer for 45 minutes. Well, we have let the cob kernel simmer for 45 minutes. I turned my stove off. Now I'm going to take my pot and I'm going to put it over here. And all you want to do next is just take your cob out of the water. Have somewhere to put your kernels. Take this out. And just want to put this in a bowl or something over there. So it have simmered for 45 minutes. So it smells good. And it will have like a yellow tint to it. So, but this is what you can do with your leftover corn cobs. When you shaker your corn or whatever, and you want corn cob jelly, this is a great way to get some corn cob jelly. So not only are you eating your corn on the cob, but you're getting corn cob jelly. Isn't that wonderful? 2 for 1, 2 for 1. So I added a little extra water because I want to at least get a good 4 cups of corn cob water from this here. And so next I have here my sink. I have my cheesecloth and my strainer and my colander. I'm going to strain it. So you got to strain it. We will be straining this next because we don't want any of the cobs or corn in there. So you want to strain it and get that out. So we're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Okay, it smells so good. It smells so good. It smells just like corn. It is corn. And now we want to strain this. We want to pour this. Be very careful because this is hot. So you want to pour it in here. Be very careful because this is hot. This cheesecloth. So don't overdo it. Just give it, you can fill it up a little bit, then give it time to drain out. See, put a little bit in at a time and give it time to drain out. So see how it's capturing those kernels? See how it's capturing the residue? So that's what you want. You want to capture. And then you take your pot. While that's still draining, I'm going to take my pot and I'm just going to sit it right here for now. And what I'm going to do is take this cheesecloth. I want to take my cheesecloth out of here, and I want all that juice I can get. Gonna be a little hot, but I want to strain it just a little bit. Get all that goodness out of there. Okay, so next we want to go ahead and take this little bit off, and we want to take this pot here. I just want to get my measuring cup to see how many cups I'm going to get, y'all. I'm anxious to see. Okay, so now I'm going to take this back to the pot on the stove. And I want to see how many cups I'm going to get. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I pour a little bit over, but you know, I pour a little bit over, that's okay. But we got 4 cups, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That's why I put a little extra more water than what the recipe requires, so I can get that good 4 cups of that corn cob water I want. So now we are going to, I'm going to turn my stove back on. And we are going to turn the stove back on. And we want to bring this to a boil. We want to bring this to a boil. And when this comes up to the boil, then we want to add our Sure Gel pectin in. This is low sugar, so I am making mine low sugar. So that's why I'm using this here. So use the one in the pink box. Do not use the other one because the other one will not form that gel that you need for this to be like jam. So always use the pink box when you're making low sugar jam or anything like that. You want to use the pink box because this is what this is formulated for, low sugar items, low sugar recipes. And I have my lemon juice and my sugar, and I have my vinegar, my workstation ready. So we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we're going to finish it up, but we're going to let it come to a boil. Okay, we are at a boil, y'all. So I'm going to put my pectin in here. Keep stirring the whole time. that you're adding your pectin, keep stirring. Keep stirring. Keep stirring. And you want to use a whisk. You want to use a whisk. Not a spoon, but you want to use a whisk while you're stirring this up because it breaks it up and distributes it better in the pot. So you want to use a whisk. I know it's kind of difficult trying to stir and whisk at the same time, but you'll get it. You'll get it. So we want to whisk this up with the whisk. And you just want to put your pectin in a little bit at a time. You don't want to put the whole pack in at one time. Okay, so that's empty. Very good. It's still boiling. So now we want to, I'm using 1.5 cups of sugar. You can use 2 cups, but I'm decided to use 1.5 cups because I want to lessen the sugar. Now I'm going to put the sugar in a little bit at a time. It will make foam, and I also have a strainer ready to take some of this foam off of here. Okay, but it's still boiling. You just want to keep stirring. Okay. Get that little sugar out. All right, so now I'm still stirring, and you see how it's looking? Looks like some kind of glossy look, but it's bubbling. Now I'm going to add the lemon juice in. My 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to help with the acidity. And you want to stir now. You want to continue to stir for 1 minute. So I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. So you're going to keep stirring though. Keep stirring. All right, y'all. And then see how it does rises. So get you a good sized pot because you're going to need it. Now my timer is stopped. So now I want to do is take this off of the stove. I'm going to sit it right here. Make sure you have something to sit your pot on. So I got this here. All right, let me get this whisk out my way, y'all. Okay, now you want to, you see how I got some of that foam over there? Now you can get, I got one of these strainers like here I like. And you can just, see how you can get some of that foam off like that? You might not get it all, but just get some of it. Get some of it. Get much as you can. You ain't gonna be able to get it all, but try to get much as you can. You ain't gonna get 100%. Okay. And now we're gonna start, now we're gonna start jarring it up. It's nice and hot. So I have my jars over there, and they are nice and hot. Everything is hot. Everything is hot. Okay. That's about the best I can get. Now we're gonna start jarring it up. I got it sitting back on the stove, but my stove is off. My stove is off. Now I'm gonna lift up this here. And now we're gonna start jarring it out. I have 2 inches of water. Make sure you have 1 to 2 inches of water, but I choose 2 inches of water. And I'm gonna pour this like that. So this is, now we're gonna start ladling it up. So, got here, and this is, you're gonna leave a 1/4 inch, my 1/4 inch is right here. So that's where I'm gonna fill it up to. You wanna leave a 1/4 inch head space in your jar, 1/4 inch head space. Mine is right there. So find out where yours is at, and you wanna start ladling up. And the pectin will help this thicken. It will help this thicken. Don't that look good? Okay, let me see where I'm at, y'all. I hope I get 4 jars. Okay, perfect. All right, now make sure you debubble, y'all. Make sure you debubble. You may not look like you need to, but make sure you see them bubbles in there. Make sure you debubble. Make sure you debubble. Okay, make sure you debubble. You still see bubbles, but it's debubbled. Okay, so next thing you want to do is get your vinegar. Make sure you get your vinegar. Make sure you check your rims. Make sure there's no nicks and cracks. I already did that. Make sure you get your vinegar and wipe this down really well. And the next thing we want to do is we want to get our lid, which I got this close to me. Get my lid. Put your lid on here and get me a ring. Yoo-hoo. And we just want to do finger tight. Don't over tighten it, just want to do finger tight, okay? And you get your ring. Oh, yeah, I love when it spins like that, y'all. And then you just want to get your jar and you want to put it back into the nice hot bath it's waiting for. And my elevation is 1,000 feet. So when I get all my jars in here, I'm going to bring it up to a boil. And once I bring it up to a boil, I'm going to let it cook for, cook for 10 minutes. But check your elevation. Make sure you know what your elevation level are. Mine is 1,000 feet, so mine will cook for 10 minutes. All right, y'all. So y'all saw how I did the first one. I'm going to finish this up. Make sure you debubble. Okay, once you jar it up and you want to get some more of them foam and bubbles off, just get you a spoon. Get you a spoon and go like this here. Get a little bit more off. You can get a little bit more of that foam off. Okay? So that's just some more advice. So there you got less bubbles. So but make sure if you want to get some of that foam off and debubble. All righty. Okay, we've got them all debubbled, all packed. We got them all in the water canner. And I turn my heat back up on high. And when this come back to a rolling boil, I'm going to let it boil for 10 minutes. My elevation is 1,000 feet here in Central Florida. So once it comes back up to a rolling boil, whatever your elevation is, that's what time you cook it. So make sure you check your elevation. And if you have I was able to get 4 jars, which I'm happy I was able to get 4 jars. Now, if you have a jar that is not quite there, the recipe say you can add water to that jar to finish it up to make it come to that 1/4 inch head space. So if you have a little bit missing a little bit, just go ahead and add water. It'll be fine because the pectin, like I said, will thicken the recipe for you. Okay, so we're going to let this come to a boil. And when it get to a boil, I'm going to put my timer for 10 minutes. Let me get my lid, y'all. Okay, 10 minutes are done. I'm going to get ready to cut the timer off. And what I'm going to do is turn the eye off. And we are going to be very, very careful lifting this lid. Just as you would on a pressure cooker, turn the lid away from you because it's still boiling. And I'm going to sit this over here. Now, don't move this pot off the stove. Leave it just where it is. And so we're going to cut the eye off and let this sit for 5 minutes. After it sits for 5 minutes, I'm going to set my timer now for 5 minutes. After it sits for 5 minutes, then we'll come back and we will take the jars out and we're going to see. Oh, don't forget, add your vinegar. I add a little bit of vinegar because I don't like the film on my jar. So if you do this, make sure you add a little vinegar so you don't have that white film on your jar. And this will rest for 5 minutes in this water. And when we come back, we'll be taking it out the pot. 5 minutes. Well, the 5 minutes are up. I'm getting ready to turn my timer off. How do time fly? It really fly by. So let's take them all out. Take them out. Hear that ping? That pinged already. Oh, look at the color of it. Look like a lemon almost. Okay, beautiful. Well, let me go over a little bit while I'm talking. I use 12 cobs of corn. I use 1.5 cups of sugar. I use 1 box of the pectin. And I use 8.5 cups of water because I wanted to make sure that it yielded me enough of my corn cob of my corn cob mixture. I wanted to make sure it yielded me enough of my corn cob water. Say that 3 times fast. But anyway, it did. It yielded me 4 half-pint jars. And I just wanted to show you, you can use, this is the half-pint size jar, 8 ounce. This is the fat one, the wide mouth, and this is the regular one. It's the same 8 ounce half-pint jar. So you have many ones to choose from. I just bought these here and I just want to use these here. But anyway, this was a good recipe. It's an easy recipe. And it was fun to make. It was fun to do. And like I say, this summertime is coming up. Well, they're still pinging, y'all. This summertime is coming up and you're going to be eating a lot of corn on the cob. So why don't you make you some corn cob jelly? And as always, y'all make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.